Good morning. Hopefully, I'll be doing one of these every week just to update you on how things are going here at the church and also to challenge you a little bit. And this morning, I was reading in Matthew chapter 19 for my devotions, and verse 13 says, "Then there were brought unto him little children, that he should put his hands on them and pray. And the disciples rebuked them. But Jesus said, suffer the little children, and forbid them not to come unto me, for of such is the kingdom of heaven." And as I was thinking about our Not a Fan study that we've been doing on Wednesday nights, that we just started this last Wednesday night, I was thinking about as Christ says that the kingdom of heaven, or heaven, is made up of these little children, and the idea that our mindset is that of a child. And so as I thought about following Christ, what it means to follow, I looked it up, and the word follow, and when it's used in Luke 9:23, means to be in the same way with. So as you read that verse, and he said to them all, if any man will come after me, let him deny himself, take up his cross daily, and follow me. It has the idea that you would be in the same way with Christ. You'd be going the same way that Christ is going. So what does that mean to us? What does it mean to us to be in the same way, or to go the same way that Christ would go? And then I looked at Matthew chapter 19 and thought about this. When a father is leading his child, when a father is out in a public place, in a grocery store or Walmart or something like that, and he's leading his child, he tells him to follow me. Maybe you got that as a child. Maybe you were following your dad, and your dad said, hey, follow me, or come with me, or don't leave my side. The idea being the same. You're going to be in the same way with your dad. Your dad's not looking forward to you going off to the sporting goods section while he's going to the men's section. It's supposed to be you're going in the same way with him. So as a child holds his father's hand, that's how we're supposed to follow Christ. Imagine if I were to let my children have everything they wanted. So we're walking through a store, and my son looks over and sees the candy section, and so he runs over the candy section. I said, go ahead, get whatever you want to. Then he looks over at the sporting goods section. He sees a bunch of basketballs and soccer balls, and he has no idea the difference, but he wants every single one of them. So I buy every single one of them for him. And this goes on the entire store. The entire time I'm letting him go out of the way that I'm supposed to be going. Let's say Miss Brittany sent me in there for a gallon of milk, and we come out with cartloads of things because my son wanted whatever he wanted. Well, beyond the fact that my son would be fat and lazy after all the candy and all that different stuff, he would not have been going in the same way with me. As I take my son to the store and I say to him, follow me, you got to stay with daddy, I know what's best for him. So as I look around at the candy shop, at the those little whatever cars that circle around, little circus things, whatever they are, carousels, there we go. As a carousel, if I look around the sporting goods section, I see a basketball and all those different things, I know what is best for him. So I can look and say, son, you eating all that candy in the long run will not be a help to you. Now, he don't understand that. He's looking at the nerd rope going, give it to me! But for me, I can look and say, that's not what you need right now. And in the long run, you'll be thankful that I did not allow you to have it. So what does that mean to us? In our daily Christian walk with Christ, you have to hold the Heavenly Father's hand. Because Christ knows what's best for you and I. Christ can look around and say, hey, don't go to the candy shop. Don't go to that carousel. Don't go to that sporting goods section because you'll regret it later on in life. There are many teenagers who have made a stop at the carousel, who have made a stop at the sporting goods section, or whatever, the home section, and have truly regretted it for the rest of their life. The reason being, they weren't holding their Heavenly Father's hand. They weren't listening to Him. When we talked about last Wednesday that being a follower of Christ will cost you something, let me tell you, the costs, quote unquote, in the end are worth it. Right now, it seems like such a big deal. I don't have popularity. I don't have all these different things as a pastor. I don't have all this kinds of money. But in the end, those costs are worth it. So today, as you think about being a follower of Christ, and as we come back Sunday and have our small group study, think about and challenge yourself to hold your Heavenly Father's hand today. And obviously, I'm not talking about literally, but where you would spend time with Christ, holding His hand in His Word, seeing where He would have you to go, and asking Him what is best for you today. When you see something and you're tempted to do it, and you're not sure, you'd ask Him and say, Father, is this something that I should be doing? Hey, don't be a fan. Don't be somebody that just gets swayed here and there and all those different things. Be a completely committed follower of Christ today. Because, as it says in verse 14, suffer little children and forbid them not to come unto me, for of such is the kingdom of heaven. Hey, don't be a fan. Hold the Father's hand and be a completely committed follower of Christ. That was just something that this morning when I was reading my devotions, God showed to me and encouraged me with. And hey, I'm 25 years old, about to be 26 years old, and I still have to hold somebody's hand whenever I'm going through life, because Christ knows what's best for us. He knows what the cost is and what we need. And so as we go through today, be a follower, not a fan. Love you guys.